Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to jump on here really quick and to share an experience I had recently, and it's a very interesting story and the way that things happened and the way that the Lord spoke to me. So I'll just make it quick and short. We were driving down the road, and I'm approaching my sister's house, and we pull in there, and I go inside, and we visit for a little while. And then we come out and we go to leave and we back out the driveway. And then as soon as I start to pull off, I jump. I say, "Oh, you see that?" And then my wife, she's like, What? I was like, "Is that money over there?" And she looks and she was like, "Yeah, that's money." And so I asked her to get out, and she grabs it. And it's $1 bill. And then my eyes get really big with the thought of there being more money out there. And so I whip my head back really quickly, and then all of a sudden I jar my back, and it hurt really, really bad. And we got the dollar in the car, and I was just convicted, like, immediately as soon as I got the dollar in the car. And I felt the Lord tell me, he says, Matt, that dollar was meant for somebody else who needed it more than you. And I just felt horrible because, I didn't really need the dollar, and it was meant for somebody else. And the fact that I was so eager to search for more money outside on the ground is where it hit me the most. But it made me to think about the least of these, and the people that actually could have used that dollar at the time, and who I felt it was meant for. So it brought me to some scripture I wanted to share real quick, and it's in Matthew. It's Matthew, looks like 25, 34. Then the king will say to those on his right hand, "Come, you blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me." Then the righteous will answer him, saying, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you a drink? When did we see you a stranger and take you in, or naked and clothe you? Or when did we see you sick, or in prison, or come to you?" And the king will answer and say to them, "Assuredly, I say to you, inasmuch as you did it to one of the least of these, my brethren, you did it to me." And I was like, man, that stings. Because the least of these doesn't necessarily mean somebody that's, for me, is homeless or living on the street. Now, granted, that's where most of our resource sources would go in ministry, but it could be somebody who just has a whole bunch of kids that need something to drink or need something to eat, or even a really good friend of yours. It's like, "Man, I didn't bring lunch to work today." And you're like, "Well, I got you, because that's what I feel I need to do. That's what God would want me to do, I feel." So I haven't been on here in a while, and I got a lot going on. I guess a lot of people think YouTube is like, we're going to do this and we're going to, blow up on this big channel, and all these things are going to happen. But it takes a lot of work, I found out, between balancing jobs and life, family, church. The priorities are doing like this in my life right now. But I'm continuing to put God first, and I'm always at the bottom. But I keep juggling, family, spouse, church, and work. And it's always like this. And I'm trying to get out of that bad habit and just concentrate on my family and my kids. And it's tough. So I'm not really sure where I'm going with this video. I just wanted to share the story about the dollar, and how I ended up hurting myself just with the thought of there being more money. I'm just grateful and blessed, and just wanted to share that with you guys. Still love all of you, and thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Still trying to work on some things behind the scenes to see what we can do. to elevate it. And I don't know, just keep seeking God first, and everything else just falls in line. So thank you so much for your time. I love you and I thank you, and you guys have a wonderful afternoon.